ourselves in Shinjuku, staying at the most bizarre hotel I could find in Japan. We have Godzilla peeking over the top of the hotel, and I can't wait to tour you around. We'll be going through why the destination is so good, a full room tour, and make sure you stay all the way to the end to see just how much a themed Godzilla hotel costs you. But without further ado, let's get into it. But if you're new here, we're Mitch and Ella of MitchEllaCo, and after 5 years, 20 countries, and over 100 travel videos, we're starting our biggest adventure yet. Around the world in 80 stays. From theme park resorts to luxury escapes to iconic city hotels, we're showing you the most unforgettable places to stay and what to do nearby. In our last video, we were in Tokyo, trying to see and do as much as possible in one day. From Mario Karts through the Shibuya crossing to the official Nintendo store to Team Lab Planet's experience, we might have overbooked ourselves. But today, it's all about the Godzilla Hotel. So first things first, you're on your way to the hotel. Either you clicked this video because you're researching to see if you should book it, or you already have, but let's talk about how to get there. Most likely you're gonna be coming from Shibuya, the Shibuya crossings, that's the main train station, catching a 15-minute another train to Shinjuku, which is really straightforward, and then it's gonna be like a 5 to 8 minute walk, and you're gonna come to your first intersection after leaving the train station and see the giant three-dimensional cat poster, and you know you're going in the right direction, but let me show you. If you're like Mitch and I, we had a couple suitcases instead of our usual backpacks, and I always worry that if we're coming from the train station, the ground's gonna be crazy. But overall, Japan's been really straightforward, and we didn't really have trouble dragging our luggage the extra 5-minute walk to get to the hotel. But again, it's like paved, lots of tiling, and it's pretty much a straight shot. Right in front of me, I'll turn it around, you'll get a glimpse of this giant tower, which is the hotel, but also the Godzilla peeking around like I showed you. I love how the whole street is a sidewalk. If you're just landing and this is your first spot, it's pretty spectacular. The neon lights, I'm sure it's 10 times better at night. We just arrived and we're checking in, but I just love all the signage and the foreign language, especially if you've never been to Japan. This is kind of what we had in mind, but initially when we dropped into downtown Tokyo, it was less like this and more sterilized buildings. So this is a lot of fun. So we've made it to the building. I wanted to make note that the hotel is actually up on the 8th floor, and the bottom half of the building is a cinema and mall, which makes it a fantastic location with all the restaurants and the eateries and even a 7-Eleven built in. But don't make my mistake and go straight into the movie theater up the escalators. You want to go underneath, which I'll show you. Trenching their luggage over all the tile to go check in, but I wanted to say there's lots to eat down here, more traditional Japanese fare. There's a cafe over here with other sushi, but there's even, for us Americans, a Sizzler's built in. It's more on the expensive side. They definitely get you. We obviously already had it with the salad bar. We needed some vegetables in our life, but we're walking past the Sizzlers to get to the entrance of the hotel. You can see it on the wall, but here is the 7-Eleven. You can't go wrong. And take it from me, you come down here, you get a smoothie to start your day. Magical. If you didn't venture through the train system and you got a taxi instead, they'll drop you off right at the front, practically in the lobby, and you just take the elevator up to the 8th floor, but there's plenty of signage to figure it out. So You step off the elevators, you've made it to level 8, you're on your way to check-in, and the theming just hits you straight in the face. But the other thing I'll say is it smells fantastic in here. It almost smells like a Four Seasons, where it's like a citrusy, light sniff of luxury. I don't know. But look at this Godzilla setup immediately that you need to take your picture with. We have a little branding up there so you remember exactly where you are. Hotel Gracery, and also the breakdown of Mount Fuji and Godzilla in the background. There's even a handy dandy photo stand right here that they've provided you because they know you want to capture the theming as soon as you walk in. Did you know that Godzilla first came out in 1954? I didn't either, but this wall breaks down year by year every Godzilla movie, and you have to pause the hotel review and tell me how many you think are on this wall. It just keeps going. I'll walk with you. And leave a comment down below because I had to count them off film. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I have seen a single one of these movies, and is that terrible if I'm staying here? But okay, now that you've unpaused it, 32 Godzilla movies. My mind is blown. Look at the concepts. Just kidding, I just recounted for the 3rd time in a row, and there are 34 on this wall. Could be more. I don't even see any American ones. So the check-in desk is behind me. I'll say they were fantastic. Immediately took us, there's a bunch of workers, so it's not like we waited in line at all. There's almost a robotic center where you check in, but we had an assistant walk us through the whole thing, scan our passports, fill out the customs form, which is pretty go-to in all the Japanese hotels we've stayed at. But I will say that we showed up at like noon, and check-in is at 2, checkout is at 11 ordinarily, but they offered us to join their loyalty program, which I signed up for, and they got us in at noon and access. Usually it's 1 hour early and you get to check out 1 hour later. So if I was you, I'd sign up for the loyalty program. Chances are you probably don't have it yet, and get an extra hour on each end of your stay. After your check-in, there are so many Godzilla themed trinkets, souvenirs that you can get. That's when you know you've come to the right hotel. You can see behind me, I'll take you to my favorite one though. So there's keychains, there's reusable bags, there's posters. We're gonna make around this huge cube. There's shirts and figurines as collectibles, but my favorite is this tissue box that costs 7,100 yen. And that's the equivalent of like $46. So if you wanted the best Godzilla tissue box ever, you'd fly all the way to Japan, come to the Hotel Gracery, and pick this bad boy up. Right off the check-in desk is the concierge desk. If you needed to book something, they'd be happy to help. There's 3 people there, so plenty of assistance. There's also a currency exchange machine, and if you know as a tourist, you should definitely pick Japanese or whatever the currency you are instead of your own. You'll get a better exchange rate. Can't say that this is the best exchange rate in town, but if you need something before you head out, this would be a great stop. And then on the left of the check-in, in the nook, there's actually almost a library. I walked up to the books to see if they were real, that it wasn't just something in decor, but they are real books. I opened them. If you didn't want to sign up for the loyalty program and you were just hanging out and waiting, they do have this space that you can be in, but there is a sign that says no sleeping. There is a place to eat here. There's not a convenience store, but there is the lounge, which is very classy. They even have theming based off of Godzilla. I would have thought this hotel would be much more gimmicky than it is. It's very nice on the interior of the lounge, as you can see, and then they have the theming cocktails and even a dessert, and they have a Halloween one. We're here during Halloween, but also on this level is the terrace, which is right in front of me, where you can see the head that overlooks over the top of the hotel. It used to be that only people staying at the hotel could access this terrace on the exterior, and walk up to the head, and that was one of the selling features of the hotel. But unfortunately, I heard from someone at the front desk that someone fell and tried to climb it, and there was an incident. So I would say indefinitely it's permanently closed, but this is still the closest you'll get, and it's crazy to see it walking up as you are making your way to the hotel and then being at the same height and size of where the head is. Off the lobby, there's 2 restrooms as well as a smoking lounge and a microwave that they offer. But I was going to talk about breakfast. Originally, I thought it was offered in that lounge to set up, but the front desk corrected me and that it is offered at Sizzler's downstairs, guys. So I came back down to the first floor where the bellhop is, where you just enter to go into the elevator, and I found this special entrance, super special, to the Sizzlers. It does say what time. It's from 6:30 to 10:30 a.m. It's 5,000 yen per person and 2,500 per child. But if you wanted to buy it with your stay, a lot of websites offer it where you can purchase it all at once when you book your stay. If you wanted to book it in the morning at the hotel before 9 a.m., you can do that. And if you're running late between 9 and 10, you can just come down to the restaurant and buy it yourself as an alternative. What an interesting thing. I would have never thought in 1,000 years that they coincided with Sizzlers and that's where breakfast is from, but pretty awesome. We're now back in the lobby, and I saved the best for last, the room tour. We're making our way up to the 15th floor. There's 30 altogether. One tower of elevators is 9 through 19. The other one is 20 through 30. But the cool thing is you need your key card to get in. But as soon as you scan your key card, it automatically knows what level you're at and takes you there. The hallways don't have any theming, but I'm okay with it because the exterior is so much fun. But we made it to room 1514. All right, let's take a look inside. First off, very slender and narrow hallway. Behind the door, it's nice, they give you 2 umbrellas, which is not always included. There's also these areas in the hallway for hangers. I saw in somebody else's videos, these are perfect for coats if it was colder this time of year, because I'm like, my clothes would never fit hung up like that. But a coat out of the way, that's nice. Also full-length mirror, which is a staple. You gotta have it in the hotel room. But this bathroom, so cute. It's all you need, really. Soap, cups, trash, little toiletries, very usual in Japan, but always nice. Toothbrushes, comb, pajamas, extra towels, a bidet, of course, guys, and then the bathroom. I think this whole room is a wet room, and you have your shower off-centered from the tub. This is what we've experienced throughout the hotels. They have the toiletries for you to choose from and more towels, but let's take a look at this enormous bedroom. Before I show you our bedroom, I did want to say we didn't pay extra to get a view of Godzilla. There's 6 of those rooms, and then there's one super duper themed room. I'll drop a photo in so you could see. Obviously, those are going to be more expensive, but you can choose online to see the city view and make sure that when you're checking out that it has it, or you leave the hotel a room, or you make a special request of which way you want to face. We did not do that, but I really enjoy this view. Okay, here we are. There is a double bed, which I'm thankful for. Usually we've been seeing 2 twin beds separate. Then there is nice clock, temperature, all the lighting is on switches next to the bed, which is nice. Here is the mini fridge. Nothing is in there, but the room did come with 2 bottles of water. This one's from 7-Eleven. And then a nice area to drop things off on. Lots of plugs. One here with the USB, and they're all American. I'm so thankful, but only 2-prong. And then there's another 2 over here, and there's 1 in the bathroom. Speaking of over here, we have this little shelving unit that has a hot water heater, something to put your tea bags on, and coffee, instant coffee, and then I think I want to say that's a dehumidifier because the space is so small, but we'll probably not be using that. And we have this nice area. We've dropped all our electronics essentially. Good sized TV, and this is the first remote that actually has less Japanese on it than English, which is new to us. And then let me take my shoes off so I can show you this view. We're just thankful that you get to see so much of the city. It honestly feels like a simulation. We don't really know all the buildings we're looking at. We're just in awe of all the different shapes and sizes and streets, and it's just got a very Japanese feeling. So we hope you enjoyed the hotel review of Hotel Gracery, or nicknamed the Godzilla Hotel in Shinjuku, Japan. We wanted to make the video, one, to tour you around, and two, to answer the question, should this be on your bucket list? I think it's so authentic and awesome and Japanese, where it enhances your experience. Even us walking through the lobby and like the backdrops of the Godzilla was worth it in our opinion, especially if you're in the area. And it's right in the downtown centralized area of Shinjuku, and the bright lights at night. Hoping to get some footage of that too. But overall, also, what you've been waiting for is how much we paid for this. And I'll say that it is very dependent upon the day and the time of year. The prices changed week to week, day to day, extremely. And so originally I had booked a Wednesday and it was like $188 after taxes and fees, but then I booked 3 days altogether, and it was over almost a weekend. A Friday was in there, and that raised the price. So it ended up being, after taxes and fees, and the hotel has like a special fee, about $250 a night. I have seen it a lot cheaper if you made it so much farther in advance. I did it about a month in advance because our plans changed. And also I think that closer to the weekend and this time of year, it's a higher price. So overall, is it worth it? I think it should be on your bucket list. Something to do in Japan, something to stay, even if it's for one night. It's not as gimmicky as I thought. It's classic in a way that this is the only space that you need, and it's fun to walk through the lobby and experience the town while you're in town. In our ranking of 80 stays around the world, I'd say that Disney's holding the number 1 and 2, and then I'm gonna have to give this number 3, and the Shirlene Tower will drop to number 4 just because this coolness is off the charts. The Godzilla is built into the roof, guys. But overall, we're gonna be doing Japan Universal Studios, another hotel review there, as well as visiting in the park. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.